Ayaka, what an amazing character and one whose rerun is coming very soon, and so let's talk about why you should summon for her right now. So Ayaka is coming soon and man am I excited. She's a great character who I have loved using since I got her and is an excellent addition to any parties out there. So firstly, let's take a look at one of her greatest strengths, and that is her burst. So her burst is really good. It has her send out a whirlwind of cryo damage, dealing insane damage to any enemies caught in it. So one character that works perfectly with Ayaka is Venti, who funnily enough is also having a rerun. So Venti's burst will not only suck in the enemies, but also Ayaka's burst, allowing you to easily get the maximum damage off every time. This is also incredible in domains, as it is able to clear the entire floor in a matter of seconds, which is really good. Now if you don't have Venti, then don't worry, it still is very good. You just have to be a bit more careful with your positioning and timing to make sure the enemies don't move out of the effect, which against bosses isn't too difficult as they remain pretty stationary, but against some enemies, say those wolf lords, can be a little difficult. Now the next big reason why you should summon for Ayaka is her element. So cryo is an amazing element that has extremely powerful reactions, one of which is freeze, which is the main reaction Ayaka will want to go for. It's also a very safe reaction if played right, due to the fact that the enemies won't be able to fight back. But the best thing about cryo, and the reason why it is extremely powerful, is due to two things. Firstly, the cryo resonance, and secondly, the Blizzard Straya artifact set. So the cryo resonance will give you an additional 15% crit rate if the enemy is frozen or affected by cryo, and then the artifact set will also provide an additional 20% crit rate if the enemy is affected by cryo, and then an additional 20% if frozen, meaning you could potentially already get 55% crit rate just from these effects alone, which is nuts. As if we then factor in the artifact stats themselves, it is very likely you can hit 100% crit rate, meaning you'll be critting every single attack, which is why Ayaka can be an absolute monster in the DPS department given the right tools and team. Now finally, I want to touch on her constellations and equipment. So firstly, does she need constellations? Not really. Most of them are just damage increases. There's no mechanic changing constellation. The big damage increase one would be your C4, which is a defense shred, but again, it is not needed as long as you build her right. Her equipment is also very accessible in the sense that her best 4-star weapon is a craftable weapon, the Amenoma Kageuchi, and it's a very good weapon, by far the best weapon in the 4-star category. The only sort of downside I see with Ayaka is that if you already have Ganyu, then Ayaka won't do much more than her. But again, if you are missing a cryo DPS, maybe you didn't get Ganyu, then definitely go for Ayaka. But now, should you summon for Ayaka? Most definitely. She is an incredible character that can deal some of the best AoE damage in the game, capable of clearing domains in a matter of seconds. She's also very good in the late game, especially against enemies that don't do well against cryo characters. And so if you have the Primo gems, I highly recommend you do. Also, I wish you all the best in your summons in 2.6, whether it be for Ayaka, Ayato, or even perhaps Venti. Hopefully you get who you summon for. But now, I hope you enjoyed this video about Ayaka coming in 2.6, and if you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.